Hello and welcome to your East Idaho planning briefing for Saturday, May 16th. My name is Alex from the National Weather Service in Pocatello, and I'll take you through today's briefing. Taking a look at the weather impact summary for the next several days, the big story will continue to revolve around the strong and moist low pressure system that will be impacting our area in the Monday through Wednesday time frame. That could bring some significant precipitation amounts to especially the central mountains. That's where 1 to 2 inches of rainfall will be possible in that Monday through Wednesday time frame. So, of course, that will lead to rises on rivers and streams throughout the area. Most, if not all, of southeast Idaho should see measurable precipitation with this system. So, we would anticipate rises on rivers and streams across all of East Idaho. Now, of course, this system won't be without some wind. We'll see some breezy to windy conditions Sunday night and Monday. And then Wednesday, as the area of low pressure moves across East Idaho, that'll drag a cold front across the state, and that will lead to an increase in wind. Now, the overall precipitation amounts, timing, track the low, moderate to high confidence at this time. There are a couple of uncertainties still lingering. We'll talk about that in the matrix. Taking a look at the satellite view for this morning, you can see the enhanced moisture as a result of that low pressure system already approaching the Pacific Northwest coast, as noted by the green and blue colors here on satellite. The actual center of the low pressure itself is still a couple hundred miles west of the Oregon coast. Now, this low will very slowly approach the Oregon coast this weekend. That'll keep southeast Idaho within a dry, warm pattern. We'll begin to see some showers and thunderstorms move into the central mountains, though, as early as Sunday afternoon and evening, and then that activity will gradually increase Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday looks to be the day with the most widespread precipitation across East Idaho, really Tuesday night into Wednesday, as the low pressure will track directly overhead on Wednesday. Taking a look at the weather impact overview. Overall, a quiet weekend for us. Some frost freeze conditions this morning across the Snake Plain, particularly the northern half of the Snake Plain. There are a couple of pockets across the southern Snake Plain with some frosty conditions, but more prevalent across the northern Snake Plain. That's where the frost advisory is in effect. Skipping ahead now to Monday, that's when we begin to see the impacts from the approaching low pressure system. Breezy to windy conditions across the Snake Plain, Magic Valley, and the South Hills as well. Maybe some local blowing dust Monday. We don't anticipate anything widespread, but certainly some local areas of blowing dust are possible. And we'll start to see the showers and thunderstorms increase across the Lost River, Wood River, Sawtooth, Lemhi County regions in earnest on Monday, and that precipitation will only continue to expand across East Idaho Tuesday and Wednesday. Right now, we have the impact level colored as yellow. Given the precipitation amounts that are expected, could certainly see some higher impacts, but right now there's some uncertainty as to what level of impacts the precipitation may cause, because areas across the central mountains are currently in a dry pattern, a lingering drought across those areas, so there's some room to absorb some moisture. However, there is still snowpack lingering in the higher elevations, with snow levels through Tuesday at or above 9,000 feet. So we'll certainly see some rain on snow in the higher elevations, so that could lead to some accelerated snow melt as well. And we'll begin to see those snow levels fall on Wednesday behind the cold front down to about 6,500 to 7,500 feet or so. So still some uncertainties as to exactly how much runoff will result from the precipitation and rain on snow, but certainly something we'll continue to monitor. Here's a look at the 7-day precipitation forecast. This captures the entirety of the duration from this system. And actually another low pressure system is forecast to begin approaching by the end of the week. So we're seeing a little bit of the influence from that, but the precipitation you see here is almost entirely from our Monday through Wednesday system. And you can see these areas in yellow are forecast to receive up to an inch of precipitation with this system. So certainly across northern Blaine, Custer, and Lemhi counties, and then along the Wyoming border as well, down towards Palisades. These orange areas here could see in excess of 2 inches of precipitation in the Monday through Wednesday time frame, and even more precip as you head north and west. We'll still be a bit on the cool side today, a couple of degrees below average, with highs getting well into the lower 60s across the Snake Plain, eastern Magic Valley. We'll see a fairly significant and robust warm-up on Sunday as the breezy southerly winds develop, with highs getting into the 80s, so jumping nearly 20 degrees between Saturday and Sunday across the board, across all of East Idaho. And then on Wednesday, we'll start to knock those temperatures down fairly significantly, down about 20 degrees from their high temperatures on Sunday. So we'll see only a very slight cool down Monday and Tuesday before a more significant cool down on Wednesday. This cooler trend should linger through the rest of the week as well. We'll begin to see the winds pick up Sunday night in advance of the low pressure system, and the winds should be strongest across the South Hills and potentially spilling into areas along the 86 corridor as well. During the day on Sunday, we'll see those winds expand in geographical extent as well as their speed. So we'll see some gusts here in the orange in the 35 to 40 mile per hour range. Again, that could lead to some patchy blowing dust. And those winds will continue Monday night. We'll start to see them come down a bit for Tuesday, but on Wednesdays, after the passage of the cold front, we'll see some breezy conditions develop once again across the Snake Plain and eastern Magic Valley, generally in the 25 to 35 mile per hour range for wind gusts out of the west and southwest. So we mentioned the river rises that are expected this week. The Big Wood River at Hailey is forecast to approach bank full by the Wednesday-Thursday time frame. More significant rises currently expected, though, in the Henry's Fork near Rexburg, and that is forecast to rise to close to bank full by the Friday to Saturday time frame. Of course, continue to check back with us as these forecasts will likely change slightly each day. So to recap, we'll see a strong moisture-rich system that'll impact the area on the Monday through Wednesday time frame this week. All of southeast Idaho should receive some measurable precipitation, with the most currently forecast across the central mountains, particularly Blaine, Custer, Lemhi counties. That'll lead to some rises on rivers and streams across all of East Idaho. And of course, some breezy to windy conditions Sunday night, Monday, and again Wednesday. Could lead to some patchy blowing dust. That'll conclude the briefing for today. If you have any comments, questions, or feedback, we welcome those to the phone number, email, or social media channels you see here. Otherwise, please join us again Sunday for your Sunday edition of the East Idaho Planning Briefing. Thank you.